Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Christopher Ward C60 Sapphire. This watch is available from christopherward.com in two versions. On the stainless steel bracelet the price is €1,115, and on the hybrid rubber strap you're looking at here the price is €995 respectively. So firstly let's look at the box that the watch comes in, and then I'll talk you through the other items one gets with the piece. So the watch box is protected in shipping by this matte black cardboard sleeve, and as you can see on the top of the sleeve it has the Christopher Ward twin flag emblem embossed, which is very aesthetically pleasing. This is the watch box itself, and I want to give due credit to Christopher Ward for producing a high quality watch box. It's the kind of solid wooden watch box one would expect to see with a high tier piece, not a mid tier piece costing only €995. The right hand portion is flawlessly finished with wood coated in matte vinyl plastic. So I really like the use of the Christopher Ward and the twin flag emblem embossed on the lid. One withdraws the wooden tray, and inside there is a cardboard panel which one removes, and underneath the panel there are two booklets which I'll show you. So the first booklet details the terms and conditions of the 6060 guarantee. Inside there's a plastic guarantee card, and I'll explain what the 6060 refers to. Every Christopher Ward watch is covered by a 60-day return policy. So for example, if you purchase this C60 Sapphire from Christopher Ward and for any reason in the first 60 days of ownership, if you're unhappy with the watch, you can return it to Christopher Ward either for full refund or alternatively a replacement piece. The other 60 refers to the 60-month guarantee on the movement itself. So 60 months equates to 5 years, and that's very reassuring, bearing in mind that this is a mid-tier piece. To get a 5-year warranty on the movement and a 60-day return policy on the watch is very good. So this is the other booklet, it's the owner's handbook. And again, I want to give due credit to Christopher Ward because they have produced a very well written and concise owner's instruction manual. This details every aspect of the C60 Sapphire's operation, including the setting of the time and also operating the hand winding and hacking functions of the movement. It even details how to operate the quick release mechanism of the spring bars and also the ratcheting mechanism for the micro adjustment in the 2-button push clasp on the bracelet version. So every aspect of the watch is covered, very thorough read, very well written, and also high quality diagrams. So I really like it. It's one of the better owner's manuals I've seen. So with regards to the interior of the watch box, it's very well executed. The watch sits on a piece of plastic which is vinyl coated, and that's for the bracelet version. If you buy the hybrid rubber strap version, there are two elasticated lycra straps which secure it. So very well protected in shipping from any damage, and it's just a very well executed watch box. I really like it. So with regards to the specification of the piece, this is the C60 Sapphire on the hybrid rubber strap version. So the case diameter is 40mm, it has a lug to lug measurement of 47.46mm, and it has a thickness of 12.95mm including the flat sapphire crystal. The light catcher case is beautifully executed. It's one of my favourite aspects of the piece, and it really does deserve the name light catcher because the machined bevels both on the undercut and the top side of the case really do catch the light. The light catcher case is finished to perfection. It's the kind of case finishing one would expect to see on a high tier piece costing in excess of €5,000. One certainly doesn't usually get this kind of quality finishing on a mid-tier piece costing €995. The quality of the brushed satin finish to the flanks is absolutely flawless. Solid 316L grade stainless steel case. Tops of the lugs are brushed satin finish, the flanks are brushed satin finish, and that contrasts beautifully with the mirror polished undercut and also the mirror polished large bevels which mark the transition between the tops of the case and the flanks. Just an absolute delight to look at. Coin edge finished bezel, which is also 316L grade stainless steel, and we have a brushed satin finish 316L grade stainless steel bezel, which has the first 15 minutes, the first quarter indexed with minute ticks. Lume triangle, and I just think the bezel is just beautiful to look at. They deserve full credit for the high quality finishing of the case and the bezel. With regards to the crown, it's knurled finish, solid stainless steel, and we have the twin flag emblem embossed. The background to the crown is bead blasted satin effect, which contrasts beautifully with the mirror polishing to the twin flag emblem. Silky smooth action, it's an absolute pleasure to unscrew it, and it's just Rolex quality in terms of the interface between the internal thread of the solid stainless steel crown and the external thread of the solid stainless steel crown tube. Absolute pleasure to manually wind, to top up the movement to its maximum 40 hours, and no problems whatsoever in the interface when screwing it back down. So I want to give them due credit. It's one of the best crown actions I've experienced on a watch. It really is Rolex quality. Now, with regards to the bezel action, 120 click unidirectional bezel, as one would expect. Nice firm resistance to it throughout the 360 degrees. The rotation feels firm all the way through the 360 degree rotation. Good solid clicks. In terms of resistance, it reminds me of a Steinhardt Ocean 1 or alternatively a Seiko SKX 007 if you're familiar with those. So it's got that firm resistance to it. Good heavy clicks. I like the audible sound of it. It's nice loud clicks to the ratcheting mechanism. It's a firmer resistance and heavier clicks than say a Rolex Submariner date. Personally, I prefer that. I like a heavy bezel action like a Steinhardt Ocean 1. Now, with regards to the alignment, the triangle on the bezel aligns perfectly with the double indices at 12 o'clock. No lateral side-to-side play whatsoever and no back play whatsoever. 10 out of 10 bezel action. It really is flawless. I can't criticise it whatsoever. Now, one of the most special aspects of the C60 Sapphire is, as the name suggests, the sapphire crystal dial. The dial is made from sapphire crystal, which is transparent, and then it's coated with a layer of blue polycarbonate to give it its blue tone. So it still retains the transparent properties of sapphire crystal, but it has the blue tint of the polycarbonate. Innovative, and I also think it's very aesthetically pleasing because the blue polycarbonate and sapphire change colour in the light. As you can see, when one tilts it, it goes to dark navy to black, and then when tilts it in direct light, it picks up the transparent property of the sapphire and the blue tint of the polycarbonate. So it's just a very good looking dial, and it adds interest because one can see through it to the movement underneath. The symmetry of the applied indices give outstanding legibility. They also contrast very well with the glossy finish of the sapphire and polycarbonate coated dial. I like the applied indices, and I also like the balance of the hands. We have an arrowhead hand for the hour hand and a baton style minute hand which has a pointed tip. The Trident second hand is very well finished. It's also a characteristic of the C60 series. I like the fact they've contrasted it with an orange tip and also a Lume dot. And so the legibility is outstanding. Now, minor criticism is the application of the Christopher Ward brand emblem at 9 o'clock. I think they should have moved the brand logo to 12 as per the C65 series and the latest C63 Sealander series. It has the twin flag emblem at 12. I think they should have removed the twin flag emblem and substituted it with the Christopher Ward brand logo at 12, because it does look unbalanced with the date complication at the 3 o'clock position and the Christopher Ward emblem at the 9 o'clock. The symmetry would be improved if they had the same size of indice at the 9 o'clock position rather than cutting it off to fit the Christopher Ward logo at 9. Minor criticism, however, some collectors like it. It is subjective. I do like the white framing of the date complication. The date window is nicely framed. Black date wheel with contrasting white Arabic numerals. Clearly legible. The sapphire crystal is flat, and although it's highly reflective, it does have AR coating on the underside, which does work very well in reducing the glare and reflective properties of the sapphire crystal. One thing I really like about it is the large beveled edge of the sapphire crystal, which catches the light, and it really does complement the light catcher case, which has those large mirror polished bevels as I've discussed. So it's a very aesthetically pleasing piece and also very functional because the symmetry and legibility are outstanding. Now, with regards to the case back, it provides an effective hermetic seal to 600 meters of water resistance, which is very impressive. Just bear in mind that a Rolex Submariner date, for example, only has 300 meters of water resistance, but it is a significantly more expensive piece. To get 600 meters of hermetic seal at this price point, which is only €995, really is exceptional. The quality of the screw down exhibition case back is 10 out of 10. It's one of the best polished screw down stainless steel case backs I've seen. Centre section is glazed with sapphire crystal, and I like the fact it's also blue tinted. It does add interest to it. It does a good job of showing off the movement, which is the Sellita SW200-1, and one can also see the rotor is decorated with the Colin McCone finish, which is the twin flag emblem produced over and over again. So I really like the Colin McCone finish on the rotor. It's just absolutely beautiful to look at. Really does add interest having a blue tinted sapphire crystal to it. So very well executed screw down case back. The crown provides an effective hermetic seal to 600 meters, as does the case back. So the specification is absolutely loaded. Now with regards to the strap, if this hybrid rubber strap isn't your personal taste, the watch is also available on a stainless steel bracelet, which is excellent, and it has a 2-button push clasp. So this hybrid strap is made from rubber, and the rubber is coated with a woven fabric nylon material, and it's ideal because it is water resistant. Of course, the rubber and the nylon dry out very quickly if you're going to use it as a dive piece. Plenty of holes in the strap to allow for fine-tuning the adjustment, and we have 2 sliding keepers. Now, the attention to detail with this strap is very good, and I'll show you what I like about it. There are 2 teeth either side of the rubber strap, and as you can see, the sliding keeper engages with those teeth on either side, and that works very well because it prevents the keeper sliding out of position. It keeps the first keeper in the position constantly, and then one can slide the second keeper on the end of the strap to get it into the preferred position. So very good attention to detail. Now another feature I like is on the underside we have these grooves, and I really like the moulding of these grooves. Now they do serve a purpose. They give gaps for perspiration to escape from the wrist, so it means sweat can wick away from the wrist. Often with rubber straps they become very sticky when one wears them in hot weather, or for example if one is active. And I like the fact that they've got this textured finish with those grooves moulded into the underside of the strap, because it allows air circulation, it allows the sweat to wick away from the wrist, and therefore the rubber strap doesn't become sticky and sweaty. So it really does work very well, and it is also very comfortable. They've also got the twin flag emblem embossed on the underside, which is nice attention to detail. And also a good use is the quick release spring bars. As you can see, that means one can change the strap for another strap, or alternatively the bracelet, very easily. The bracelet comes with quick release end links, and also having these quick release spring bars means that it's very quick to change between this strap and the bracelet. So very well executed. Now solid stainless steel buckle and tang, and as you can see it's beautifully engraved with the Christopher Ward logo. Finished to a high standard, nice brushed satin finish, nice heavy gauge of metal. It's good quality and it's going to last for a good length of time. So I'll give you a wrist shot and you can see how it fits on my 8-inch wrist. Now one thing I want to discuss is the heft of the piece. As one would expect, the heft of the stainless steel bracelet version is significantly heavier than this rubber strap version. This is only 100 grams on the hybrid rubber strap, and that is very light for a 40mm piece. So if you're a collector with a smaller wrist of 6 to 7 inches, you are going to find the comfort level and the feel-good factor of this C60 Sapphire to be exceptional. Now I'm pleased to report that the rubber strap is indeed just long enough to fit my 8-inch wrist. As you can see, I can engage both keepers on the end of the strap. Now it could do with being a fraction longer. If you are a collector with an 8-inch wrist, you might want to change the strap for a longer one to fit an 8-inch wrist. But however, if you have up to a 7.5-inch wrist, this hybrid rubber strap will be no problem whatsoever, and it's incredibly comfortable. It's actually a surprise because usually with rubber straps I prefer them to have a smooth underside for maximum comfort, but with a textured underside with those grooves moulded in, it is actually surprisingly comfortable. The curved profile of the light catcher case wraps around the wrist very snugly, and I really like the 47.46mm lug-to-lug measurement. It really does give a very comfortable fit, and regardless of whether you're a collector with a 6 to 7 inch wrist or a 7 to 8 inch wrist, this is going to fit your wrist very well. It's relatively low profile as it's under 13mm at 12.95mm, so this will easily slip underneath a shirt cuff if you wear business shirts. So therefore it's an ideal daily wear piece, and I like the versatility of it being on a hybrid rubber strap because you can get it wet and the rubber strap with the nylon fabric is going to dry out very quickly. So feel good factor is outstanding, comfort level is outstanding, and of course it is very aesthetically pleasing. The blue sapphire dial contrasts very well with a brushed satin finish to the stainless steel bezel, so good looking piece and also incredibly legible due to the AR coating on the underside of the sapphire crystal. Right, so let's do a lume test and we'll see how the lume performs when it's charged up to its absolute maximum. So the lume used is X1GL C1 Superluminova. C1 is very bright lume, so I've got high expectations of this Superluminova. With C3 it gives a characteristic green tone. C1 is a whiter tone of Superluminova, so therefore it should glow very brightly. Right, so that's now fully charged, and as you can see it has not disappointed. The lume on this X1GL C1 is just incredible. This is 10 out of 10 Swiss Superluminova. I also like the fact they have lumed the brushed satin finish stainless steel bezel insert. As you can see, the first 15 minutes, the first quarter of the bezel is also lumed, and it adds interest. One can see the minute ticks. The arrowhead hour hand is clearly visible, as is the baton style minute hand. So 10 out of 10. This is just the very best quality. I like the double indexes at 12 o'clock. It allows orientation of the dial. One can clearly see where the 12 o'clock indexes are. It's glowing brightly and it's continuing to glow for a good length of time. So C1 is a whiter tone of green lume than C3, and therefore it glows brighter and it glows for a longer length of time. So I think they've made the correct choice in using X1 GL C1 rather than C3. So I really like it, 10 out of 10. And it's good to see they haven't cut any corners with regards to the specification of the lume. Now, with regards to the movement used, it uses the Sellita SW200-1 automatic, which has 26 joules. It runs at 28,800 vibrations per hour and a frequency of 4 Hz, which is the industry standard for automatic movements. It has hand winding and hacking, which are useful complications, and it has a 40-hour power reserve, which is perfectly acceptable. The stated accuracy of the standard grade of SW200-1 is plus or minus 20 seconds per day. However, I'm pleased to report that this one is regulated to plus 5 seconds per day, which is outstanding. To get a 600 meter water resistant piece, which is regulated to plus 5 seconds per day at only €995 is exceptional. The specification and the quality of this piece is absolutely loaded. So I really like the column cone finish to the rotor, and although the SW200-1 standard grade is undecorated, they have made the correct choice. It is a reliable, well-proven workhorse Swiss movement. So the perfect choice for a piece which is €995. So lastly, I'll surmise the piece. What do I think of it overall? Well, when I'm considering reviewing a watch on my channel, the watch should meet 2 criteria. It should be both excellent quality and excellent value at the respective price points. So at €995, which is the price point of this piece, it is unquestionably excellent quality, and it is also unquestionably excellent value. The quality control is excellent, the build quality is excellent, the case finishing is excellent. Specification is absolutely loaded. Sapphire crystal dial. We also have sapphire crystal with AR coating, and it has 600 meters of water resistance. Those specifications alone make this a worthwhile piece at €995. But the quality of the finishing is the thing that most impresses me on the Lightcatcher case, because it's the kind of finishing one would expect to see on a €5,000 high tier piece. So Christopher Ward deserves full credit for producing an excellent quality and excellent value piece with no negatives whatsoever. I'm going to declare this a champagne watch for lemonade money, and I highly recommend it to you for your consideration. So I hope you've liked my review of the Christopher Ward C60 Sapphire. Please feel free to post your own comments below the video. Thank you very much.